may be wondering why I'm sitting at my desk, not being an ethereal voice through a microphone. Well, it's because I'm going to talk to you about my first game of D&D since 2013. So we're talking over a decade. There was a time in 2018, 2019, early 2020 when I was DMing, but this is the first time as a player, which is why you may have seen that I'm holding this guy. It's me. You may have seen him on some hobby vlogs. This is Bull Stormerville. I think that's an alright dwarfish thing. He's a bit posh, but not too, you know. We'll get settled into the voice. Put in there. So we're doing 5th edition. The edition I know. The edition I DM'd with. And my DM knows it as well. So, well enough. Yeah. Won't go into the new stuff. Because I don't care. So I have my notebook. The 2nd of November. You got swiped in the face. Yeah, 3 pages. Probably could have written a bit more. But I think it's a good amount. I'm the note taker. It's me and my mate Dean playing. He is. Oh, he's a Haragon. Hagurgan. It's hair something. What is it? Harandon. Haggy. The rabbit. Just gonna say it's the rabbit. And it was something like Garakarakaro. I'll probably forget your name, Dean. And I said, "Can I call you Gar?" And he goes, "What about Gary?" I'm like, "Nice, we'll meet in the middle." I like that. Because we have only just been introduced. We were outside Greenberg's town hall in the town centre. We've both been summoned by letter, classic, to see Gerald Green, the mayor. And we've been assigned a task to investigate the goings on with some steam technology being used over in the Brook estate and how it's going to affect the town. Some people are for it, some people are against, the mayor's against. And we've got these badges. You can get a discount as well from places. I'll show you that we're the investigators. And I haven't played in a while, and even in college I don't think it was massively roleplay, but we're both doing voices now and we've known each other 20 years, and it was still a bit weird, to be honest, but we got into the flow. But it was like, where we go to the inn? In there. So we went to the inn, we talked with did I get her name? No, we went to the Golden Cheers. Yeah. And he got an ale on the house. Gary, sorry, not Gar. Gary got a cider. And we got some more information out of it, which is kind of good. We got some information about how the brooks are not allowed in the marketplace because the market was on. There's the mayor's order 4 months ago. And it was 6 months when they moved in. There's been workers coming from the city up north, 80 miles north, Newester, a naval city, 80 miles north. They built a house and they moved in. Missing people, missing workers. But no one from the town, no one who was known. They're all outsiders. So I went to the corner, walked past a group of old men talking. 2 versus 1, 2 were for it, 1 was against. All the way around. But one of them was called Frank. Investigator. Went to the market square, went down out and then down to the left, into the market square it was on. It's on the whole weekend. It's a Saturday. It's on all weekend. We went to the first market stall there, which seemed pretty farmery because I have a farmer kind of backstory by being a merchant, helping out the farms. I thought I'll be able to get in. We're selling potatoes, mixed veg, carrots, and we got a little bit out of him. He'd been going there 7 years, and the Brooks family are completely barred, not from the markets like we thought, completely barred from the whole town. And Dean just completely went straight in with the steam power, which most of the farmers are against. And the guy really shot back with something. I was like, oh, we put our foot in it already. If only I knew. We'll get to that. So I talked to him, and then he goes, would you like to buy something? Then I felt like, oh, we have to buy something, but we've only got gold on us. So I was like, do I have any, like loose change? It's only a copper for a kilo bag, carrots. So let's roll. And I got 2 copper. I think I rolled like a 15 or something. So I had 2 copper pieces. So bought a bag of carrots because I got a horse. No, sorry. Sorry, Dareth, I've betrayed you already. A mule. So I bought some for him. Gave some to Dean. He's a rabbit. I'm pretty sure they like carrots. Don't shoot me. And then we looked around. We sat in the market square. Looked around what's around. More market stalls. They're all outsiders. They just come in for the month. So once a month they come in and go. So they're not going to really get much from them. So, but around are more building establishments, not just market stalls. Greenberg Goods, a forge, herbal remedy shop. And we thought we'll go to the Greenberg Goods first, because surely they would have to have some liaison, some staff member coming in to buy food because they can't starve, although they do have a farm. But it was a good place to start. And there was a gnome who ran it. We didn't get her name, but you did catch that, because part of my backstory was, I think it just came up a bit of a random conversation when we were actually, because this is when my whole backstory changed. I mean, the whole thing with the seeing his map, seeing the map, maybe I could be a merchant or something. So that all kind of changed my backstory. And he said about, oh, you could some dwarf women, because there's still dwarves around, because I went from more of a isolated dwarf colony kind of thing. Now we're over in the north, so it's much more diverse, but it's like, really still want a dwarf woman, nice beard. And I was like, I don't know about the beard, I'll probably be into gnomes. Just a passing comment. So months later, when we enter and he says there's a gnome at the counter, a gnome lady, I went, ooh yeah. And she gave me a little wink, and I was like, okay, cool. Thank you for helping. We've just got some questions, and then we did some investigatory stuff. She goes there every Monday. Well, maybe not she, but they deliver every Monday. Again, we weren't very good investigators. We did miss some stuff, like her name. And they deliver over to the barn. There's just some staff that go there. It's not very guarded. 1 week every Monday, and they've been doing it for 3 months. So since the being banned, we're getting a time frame. We're getting a time scale going. And then I think we were just on our way out, said thank you for helping, and then doing some role play, because you kind of describe it, there's like 20 people around. It's quite a big store. There's like sweet goods, there's stuff there, food. And so I then thought I'd do a bit of role play and said, oh yes, we will be back. I'll be back for lunch because you have some lovely. And then my brain went, what was over in that corner? What kind of food? I was like, buns. We have some lovely buns. Then he asked me to roll. I was like, okay. Natural 1. So she took that as flirting and inappropriate because I was talking about her buns, not the buns in the corner. So that was a hilarious moment. Going like, no, I meant to buns. Get out, you're barred from here. Never come back. I don't care if you're investigating, you're not welcome here. So we thought we put our foot in it before, but I really put my foot in it. So that kind of lead was kind of put to a stop. And that kept on coming back. And I was like, I'm really going to have to like sort that out a little. Like, we just got here, day one of being hired, and I pissed off one of the local townspeople, businesses as well. And it'll come out later that she is kind of maybe untrustworthy. So, we'll get to that. So after being kicked out in front of 20 people, yeah, they all saw that. We went to an alley, discussed a little plan, and thought we'll head out to the south and then head towards the Brook Estate. Yeah, I wrote just barred from goods store for now. But yes, so it soon goes from town to field to their fields, and it starts getting massive crops, weird produce, chemical kind of stuff, with old machines buried or submerged in the mud, stuck in the mud. Some workers like 300 meters away working. I mean, kind of the movements are a bit weird. So my divine sense is going like, oh, do I have to do an undead check? We don't know how weird these guys are, because they said the lady at the inn said some queer things happening, some weird things, people going missing. So I was like, ooh, what we talking here? So I thought I'll shout to them. I said, hello, is this the Brook Estate? And they didn't react at all. They did say they were in earshot. They would have heard. So that's weird. So we scooted on along, and I said I'm going to be checking my shoulders, checking my six. So I'm saying checking my six, because that's just a bit weird. And we continue on, and we come to a little outbuilding, little shed kind of thing. And Gary swings open the door. It's open. And there's two sacks. One that says Chemical 42B. And I've put weird accelerator, but it probably didn't say weird accelerator. Oh wait. Maybe that's a different word. Weed accelerator. No. That's the thing about notes. Like, you're really trying to jot things down as they're being said. And you did pause a little, but I still just jotted it down thinking I'll be able to read it. Something accelerator with a seal of a boat. And I was like, ooh, Naval City. That's where they're coming from. So it's all linked. And then Dean had a further look, little investigation checks, all going good. And when he sliced one open with his rapier, I think it was a 42B, and like white powder came out. Weird. Is that dangerous? And then I checked for dirt. Might have checked it later actually, because you're gonna see about if it was before or after the event I'm thinking of, because he opens the other sack, the accelerator, and that came out. They joined, mixed, and then started smoking, and then set on fire. And then we set this little hut thing on fire too. So I started a bit panicking, because I was like, well, people might be able to see this, so I'm going to make it look like a natural disaster. So I used Termaturgy, I think. Termaturm. And I made the ground shake. I thought, I can make it seem like, I don't know, natural disaster. And then I was like, oh, I can make my voice really loud so I can call people. What I didn't know is that it lasts a minute. And I hadn't written down my spells yet, but I knew the general gist. And so I didn't know that you could use action to cancel it, because it's just a cantrip. So I had a minute of whatever I say in character will be shouted 3 times as loud. So I had my little, I made a little holy symbol thing of a boot with a mace of the Wanderer, one of the gods, dwarven gods. So I held that and held my breath. And I was like, "Sorry, help, fire, anybody," something like that. I definitely yelled fire because I'm really trying to see on it. Do I make it seem like we did it, or do I say, "Oh, this is on fire"? But then, as I was like this, while not knowing that I could cancel it, so I'm holding my breath. A guy comes out from the fields, big crop fields, comes out, and I didn't really catch everything he said. It was kind of a bit manic. He said, "Oh, I thought something happened. I saw a very great shaking. I nearly had a heart attack. Cool, do," and really talking like weird cadence, like a weird cadence to it, weird structure. And I whispered because I was like, "Well, it's gonna be 3 times loud. If I whisper, it'll sound like normal." I said, "I'm so glad you're here." And then he ran off into the fields again. And he said, "That was a very weird interaction you just had with that guy." And I was like, "Yeah." And because I'm concentrating on not shouting and breathing, I didn't catch all of it, but it was definitely weird. And he didn't look like the other guys, so he just disappeared. So that was weird. And so I think that's when I checked the dirt, because that had like fallen over and it's now not smoking as much. I thought, well, if that guy's checked it out, so it must be all right. And so I checked the dirt because I'm a farmer. So I was like, is it chemically? Is it weird? And it turns out it was just dirt. Just dirt. I didn't roll very good. I've already rolled a natural 1, so, and it wouldn't be the last. I can't remember what the other one was for, but yeah, a lot of low rolls. Yeah, scattered farm tools around, some schematics, too unstable, output machine. And there's scorch marks on the tools. It's a very weird situation going on. Oh yes, so what I write about the man. Man ran up, heart attack, not like the rest. So we continued on the road, and then there's a scarecrow with some items down the bottom because we rolled a good investigation check. There's a tin, a half-eaten sandwich, a handkerchief, and some torn bits of clothing. Well, that's a bit weird. Dean had a closer look, and I picked up the handkerchief, mostly to see if it was like a fresh lunch, like if there was crumbs on it. But it turns out my investigation check was so good that there was actually a note inside, and it said something on the lines of, because he said he should have written it out to give us, because we had a bunch of letters, like physical stuff being handed out. We had this little treasure chest where we pick out the stuff and go, there you go. So he didn't have this prepared, but I'll probably get it last time, but I caught most of it. If you find, ooh, handwriting again. If you find this crop game, fast changing. The crops growing. If you find the crops glowing, maybe. Fast changes. Tom is talking to a machine. It's all weird. Something's wrong. A green glint. And don't be there at night because there's a green glint. And people go missing. And now he's left that note, and there was dry blood on the torn bit of clothing. And there was a guild little symbol of a hoe and a scythe, which I knew as the Farm Hand Guild, and they're mostly in the cities. So, probably coming up one of the workers, the ones that have been going missing, and something about a Tom. Name was given. Talking to the machines like they're real. So weird things are happening. Then it was just round the corner of the stalks, wheat, I don't know what you call the crops, the tall crops. Dean went up to the gate. I kind of held back because I've just been told, like, oh, that letter said they're always watching. So that was a bit creepy. So I was from behind, and the gate opened, just pushed it open. Won't lock or anything, just a normal, like, nothing fancy. Picket fence, so it's not like it's a guarded thing, it's just like a normal kind of house kind of thing. It is quite big, it's got a barn, it's got a workshop, a 2-story house, big windows, quite fancy. So seeing that it's clear, I kind of go up, have a little listen out. There's a clang, clang, clang on the workshop. I go over to the barn, because that's what I thought Dean was. And I check there's like food stock from the deliveries, and there's a cart, a big, like, fancy metal cart. Like, ooh. So I went to take a closer look, and he goes, roll dexterity check, which is never good. I didn't roll too great, so a spike came up from the ground and cut me across my ankle. I thought it had started from my foot, but I think that would have been a worse roll. It grazed me. It's like, okay, booby traps. Anything happen? Any alarms going off? No, just a spike, just a trap. Okay. So I reset it, and he said, that's good, you thought about it. Because if I did it another way, it could have gone bad. But I used my warhammer to press it back down in and click. So, and then like kick the hay back over because it was obviously hidden. So covered my tracks a bit, and didn't do that anymore. Then went over to the house where he was, because the door was ajar, which is always a bit creepy, but it's ajar. It's quiet, eerily quiet. It's been quiet for a while now too, as well. And then we got more quiet. It's always creepy vibes. Chester, damn you! I need a right meter. But there's steam pipes. Barn the workshop. Yes. Then we went in. There's a coat rack in like the little entrance hallway bit. Dean checks the pockets, finds a locked box. So he right of hand. Oh, rogue. Opens that up. Got a letter from Harold Barnes from the council. Now I've written down Elaine Frisk, Office of Regional Council. So I think it was another letter we found. I can't remember when we. Oh, one of these. Yes, Harold Barnes is in the pocket. We put that back. Nothing happened. Went over into the open door. And there's a bookshelf, like a little living room chair, a fire. It's been long ashed. And then Dean went straight to the bookshelf. Boom, 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 click. So that's a secret passageway that goes down. It's like down to the basement. It's normally creepy. So we had a little plan to block it off of the chair so it won't close behind us. But a letter came out from that, and I think that was the Elaine Frisk. And they're all for it, this one. So they're going against the mayor a little bit. So we thought, before we go down there, we'll check what's through that other locked door. Because I look for the keyhole, and I see that there's a desk with papers all over the place. I was like, ooh. So he opens that up, easy peasy, go in. I'm at the desk and I check, and there's 6 letters. There's ones that are against and ones that are for, 3 and 3. So we've got some who are against. We've got like an Edwin Marsh, a retired school teacher. William Eastwood, a local farmer. So we can go find him over in the market. We've got Clara Newfield, a town council member. So there is someone with the council who is against it, not who's for. Because there's a whole thing with like money moving around, some suspicious kind of dealings from what we've investigated so far. There's a Golden Cross Bakery owner, Leader Mercer, who's for it. A blacksmith, the blacksmith we didn't see but was at the forge, and we didn't go and talk to her because we had just been kicked out from the bakery, so that guy like disrupted the thing. We just thought, we just got to get out of here. So she's for it. And then there's a Tom Riddle, which was a generated name, and he didn't catch it until we said it out loud and was like, oh yeah. Whoops. But it's only Harry Potter. Who gives a shit? I'm not a Potter fan. Watched the movies, didn't read the books, don't really care for it. But that's neither here nor there. So Tom, I was like, Tom, maybe from a letter, Tom Riddle, a young farmer. Maybe he's that same guy. So that was like, connecting my dots here, doing some investigating. And then he found another bookshelf, so of course, him in his roguey mind, click, 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 that can open, and click from a desk. Thing pops out, and that had a letter from another councilman. Or maybe that was a letter. Maybe that was Elaine Frisk. Oh yes, Elaine Frisk, Office of Regional Council. That was from her in that one. Yeah. Maybe. Ooh. Maybe it wasn't. Something was in there. What was in there? But either way, we put it back. Whoever it was fall. Oh wait, no. It was, yeah. I am right. Letter from there, letter from the box, letter from coat, letter from bookshelf. In the desk was his strategy road plan, which is all laid out, bunch of information, had a little thing for it, a complete prototype of month 6, fundraising for government, establish advising board month 4, launch education campaign month 1. So like, okay, we can get a time frame because something in my letter said about the month 4 day 10. Ooh, did we keep that letter? I can't remember what was happened on that. Ooh. We did keep that one. Aha. When was that? That's got to be afterwards, wasn't it? We'll get to that. So I don't know what information the month thing, because then if we can find one of these things, like the 1 month one, then we can date. We can start getting a time frame, time scale. When was the vote on agricultural policy reform? Because that was mentioned in one of these letters. Then we put them all back, and nothing happened. And we went over to the living room again. Before going down, we checked out another door into the dining room, and there was a kitchen further yonder. And in the dining room, there was a framed, folded letter. So that's a bit weird. So I'm a bit cautious at the moment. I've been a bit cautious of doors and things that could be a trap and stab you, like from the barn. There's some traps. I was like, how about, why don't you take it? You pick it up. And he's like, why don't you? I was like, good point. No persuasion roll needed. Picked it up. Roll dexterity. Fuck. Rolled actually good this time. So it missed my hands. A big metal thing, metal wire, kind of would have like really damaged my hands there. But it's done it before, which is weird. I thought that's weird. It's done it before, so who's been trying to take it as well? But we open it out. We open the letter, read it. It's from Elric Gage, a councilman again. Something about month 4, day 10. So another thing to work out. Thank you for the funding. And this one, we don't have to worry about me doing not much notes because Dean has forged it. So he's done a forgery of it. We put the real one back, I think. Oh, there was some confusion because I rolled to see, I did a perception check to see if they were the same. And with my average kind of roll, so I'm not fully trusting in it, but the character is like, yeah, it's good, that's good. But now I can't tell which is which. And I thought I had like, not tricked the DM, but solved it by going, wait, I didn't fold. It was folded in a frame. I hadn't folded it yet. He goes, you would have folded to check if it was the same. And I was like, that's a good point. Damn. That kind of got solved. And I thought, while we're here and you can forge his signature, we should write a letter from him. And I was like, had a big old plan. And then, so every sentence you had to roll a sleight of hand check to see how well he did it. And the DM was writing it. So I'd be like in character, I'd be like, dear Mr. Brooke. Roll. And then it was like, thank you again for the funding. Much appreciated again. And then I thought, because it hadn't been rolling too good, so I was like, okay, I need to be ill or something to explain the weirdness of the handwriting or something. I have been ill of late. Sorry I haven't been able to do the meeting. Stuff like this. And then we did a whole letter, did this whole thing. The last line was good. Some lines were actually really good, like 19s, stuff like that. But most it was like 4 or 5s. And then, did I keep that letter? No, I don't think we did. No, we didn't. We'll get to that. So the letter wasn't very good. We read it back. Spelled the first name wrong. Mr. Brock. I was like, Mr. Oh. It's hilarious. I mean, instead of saying, I have been ill, he's like, I have shit myself. And then he didn't even write his name right. Elric Gag. And all this stuff. And that was a real good laugh. That was a great little moment reading that letter back. I was like, I don't think we could use this. But he did a persuasion check, like a persuasion roll to persuade me that it's good. Like, what are you talking about? This is what I do. I'm good at this. And I was like, oh, you're right. I shouldn't have doubted you. Because he rolled high and I rolled like a 3. So I was like, you know what? You got a good point. You're the professional. Yes, reach out your ears. Yes, good. Splendid. And we went back to the front of the house through that hallway to go up the stairs. Because we figured down is creepy, up is not going to be as creepy. So through that secret bookcase in his study. And as we went past the door, which is still kind of ajar, because we kind of left it as it were, and I checked out the windows, hear the clanging, it's still clanging. It had stopped for a minute back in the barn, then started again. So that was a bit weird. I was like, but it was far out. We haven't checked it, and Dean was approaching the house. So I thought I'll catch up with him. So we haven't checked out the workshop yet. But no one's around. It's quiet apart from boom, clang, clang, clang. And it only really clicked till later that it was like a consistent clanging. I was like, oh shit. So we've left the letter at the front, like a poster would kind of just leave it like, oh, don't enter your house, but there's your post. So we left it there. Went upstairs, and the whole floor plan of the house is one big room upstairs with a single bed over on the other side, with a little bedside table, an oil lamp, some objects. And I don't think we found anything there, but it was really creepy. He said, like, big windows, no curtains, a single bed. But we didn't find anything. Even with good investigation rolls, we weren't finding anything. So that was just weird. We checked out the window. It's just a field, still day. It did take a while to write that letter. It had been like an hour writing that letter. So that was a bit creepy. Like, creepy vibes from me upstairs. We've been here a while. Open fields, the farmers are still there. Just as normal. And we went back down. We came through the hallway past the door to go down the bookshelf. The letter's gone. That's when we start going, fuck, the letter's gone. So that's like, ooh, weird. Clanging's still happening. This is weird. And then we go, well, we'll just continue with our plan. We'll go to the bookcase and we'll go down. Then on the chair that we left there is a letter. Like, and I was like, is it quickly scribbled out? Has it been written quickly? No, it was written. It's been well written and was dried. It's not like, not scribbled or anything, not fresh. And it's on the table. We open it, and it says something like, because again, this is in like, you know, when something's happened, which is not planned for, because you hear typing in it. So, so letter's gone. There's now this letter from them, and that letter as well. The plan was that we said that with the delivery on Monday will be 2 of my colleagues from the council, us, so we can get there legitimately. And I thought that was a great plan. So that hasn't gone to plan. That's been scrapped. You are trespassing. Leave immediately, or there will be consequences, and like some other threats and stuff. Like it was definitely like, ooh shit. So we didn't go down there. We went out the front. Dean went towards the gate, and I always thought, well, I just want to catch a glimpse of what's in the workshop. This clang, clang, and that's when it clicked. I was like, it's a consistent clang. Maybe it's like machinery, some steam powered stuff. just want to like look at it. And I was like, well, I do have my thaumaturgy. So I was like, am I within 60 feet? Oh, also, speaking of 60 feet, because I think it's 30 feet anyway, but 60 feet, I did, as I entered, because I was like, oh, I should have done an undead check when that guy ran over. So, damn, missed opportunity. I was like, I'm going to ready in action. If I feel weird vibes, I'm going to divine sense. So as we entered in, then when I got there, divine sense, nothing, no undead, all clear. Back to the being within range, and I was like, you're within range? I was like, cool. So I'm gonna, and it's like, it is verbal, so you're gonna have to like say like open door or something. I was like, okay, yeah. And then you're gonna violently, I mean, because we read I was like, because I didn't have my spells written out. I just wanted to confirm that I'm pretty sure it has something to do with doors. I don't know if it like shook it or like opened it, and he goes, it swings it open, like swings doors open, swings windows, shutters and stuff. He goes, so do you want to swing this door open? It's like, yeah, we'll do that. And he goes, it finally swings open, the clanging stops, the ground starts to shake violently, and it's not my thaumaturgy kind of shaking, it's the genuine kind of shaking. So, and Dean can even feel it by the gate. He keeps on going. He thought he was near me, but then he actually was walking out, so it's kind of like thinking, that's better, because what comes out of the barn is metal clanging stop, but then it's like clang, clang. The barn explodes as this mech construct bursts out of the barn, boom, boom. And when that, before I knew that, actually, I heard the earth shaking, the thing stuff. I was like, okay, something's coming out. So I thought, fuck it, we're gonna do my level 1 spell, because I did the level 1 feat, which isn't 5th edition. It is the new edition, but my DM Dan just does that anyway with the feats, because it used to be in an old edition, so he just does it anyway. So I was doing the magic initiate. I got some cleric spells, hence thaumaturgy. So I had guiding bolt with my level 1. I was like, I'm gonna really bad action. So in my hand I've got this thing like sparkling, like ready to go. And so as the ground shaking and footstep, big crank, I was like, can I get to the corner of the building? Kind of just, because we're near the house still, so like, can I just like see it coming? And then roll a stealth check. Actually went good, even with my. Oh, I should have rolled that disadvantage. Oh, was it disadvantage or -1? I forgot about my chainmail. I apologise, Dan. I apologise. I forgot about that. Either way, it was alright. And I ended up by the building. I'm guessing that's so they didn't see me, because again, there's things like, we are watching you. Leave now. Like, we will watch you. There will be consequences. So it's like, shit. The letter said about that. I've said about Tom going. The bloody shirt, half-eaten sandwich, note writer. We're fucked. So, very much, and that comes out, and then it's like, and that's where we're gonna have to end it. So, instead of facing the rats in the basement, I've awoken a giant construct. So next session, I drove Dean back to go get his car, and he left at mine. Carpool was important. And I was like, I think we're definitely going to have to run. Like, I'm going to cancel that held action, use dash, I'm only a dwarf, and we're going to have to get the fuck out of there. So we went from putting our foot in it to really putting our foot in it to my foot's deep in it and it won't get out. So we're going to see what happens there. But yeah, definitely can't face that. We're only level 1. So, so yeah, we'll be running. I guess my sort of plan is hopefully that the weird farm hands in the fields, which kind of moving, kind of robotic, don't come and attack us out from our crops. So I've got to be ready for that. But Dean's in front, so he's got better dex, better insight, better perception. So hopefully he can know that's coming. I can just be like, with my hammer and just bash. So, it's all kicking off. And that's only my first game. It's only session 1. A giant mech. Which I was kind of excited for, because I, as you know from my past video, potentially got a big box of D&D, got the minis, got some terrain, so it's all ready for him to use from my DMing days. And I was like, oh, I got a mini for that. He's like, I know. I was like, oh, exciting. Then I was like, oh, that's not exciting. That's against us. But again, our little plan is definitely to run, which I think is our safest bet. But that was my first game of D&D in 10 years, and I am absolutely loving it. Might as well say it now. I know I'm doing a bit differently with it's basically every bit of my hobby really I'm doing a video about now. Different TTRPGs, making a board game, not just Middle Earth. But this has been D&D. If you like D&D, if you've liked this video, if you like it's a bit of a ramble, but it got the gist and it made me forget things and remember things. I have to maybe do a little journal thing or something, but I got genuine kind of notes, genuine kind of useful notes, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully in the next few weeks we'll see what goes on. But this has been me, and like the video if you liked it. If you like D&D, if you like when you're talking about D&D, definitely do that so I can do more. But I probably will do more anyway, regardless of if the algorithm hates it, because I'm diversifying the channel, because it doesn't really like that, does it? YouTube doesn't like when you do that, split the audience. And leave a comment, let me know if you're doing any D&Ding. What do you think of my decisions? And of course, and as always, subscribe. And if you like what I'm doing here, if you like the channel, share it with any fellow hobbits. And I hope this has been quite cool. It's quite weird doing it in person. See you on the next one.
It's quite cool.